So today we're doing a brat of the day. Now, the brat of the day, this is going to be an interesting one. We're going to be making a pizza with a brat. Now, you may have seen some of those. They're like those keto pizzas or gluten free. It's an all meat pizza. And what I'm going to do is take actually the meat out of the casing on my brats. I'm going to take 1 pound of the brats. I'm going to open up these brats, take the casing out, and I'm going to add it to this bowl. And to this bowl, I'm going to add some parm and some mozz, and I'm doing a cup of, oh no, I'm sorry, 3/4 of a cup of parm and about a half cup of mozz. And then I've got a teaspoon of like Italian seasoning and then a teaspoon of freg shake. And again, freg shake is salt, pepper, garlic, paprika, onion. That's it. And that's it. So I'm going to do is get all these out of the casing, and get this put in here and mix up this dough. It's kind of funky how this dough comes together. It comes together pretty quick. All right, I'm just going to mix that together real quick. Now when you're mixing this together, the fat in this pork is going to help pull together everything with this, the cheese. And it's going to pull together to make a really kind of a nice pizza dough. And I've made this dough similar to like this with chicken. You can do it with Italian sausage, but I'm going to do it with brat. And what's going to be kind of funky with this, I'm going to make a Reuben. I'm going to make this crust. And this is a 2-step process. After you put this in the oven, you put it in 350, put it in for about 10 minutes, and then pull it out. And then we're going to top it. And then you can bake it for another probably 10 to 15 minutes, and then it's done with. And what I'm going to top it with, I freshly grated some mozz. I'm sorry, not mozz, Swiss. And then I got some deli corned beef. I'm going to put that just like what you'd get. And then I made sauerkraut. So I'm going to do all that together. The best way to do this is to put this directly, put the ball right on here, put another piece of parchment right over it. I would definitely use a rolling pin. You don't have to, but I think a rolling pin will help. How are we looking? So we got a ways to go. Not very attractive. It looks like the state of Michigan or Wisconsin. You got to get this. And what you can see right here, kind of, see how there's that indentation. All you got to do is kind of press this area out a little bit more to bring that side up to make that more even. Same with here. Do you see how that's kind of off? You can just kind of even that out. See how this is getting to be kind of like a round pizza crust. And if anything, you definitely want to make sure this is flat and thin so it cooks evenly. Not too bad, right? This will cook. It'll shrink a little bit, but I'm going to get this in the oven. We'll take a look at this after 10 minutes. Okay, see, you can see this just came out. Look at all that liquid that came out. So what I'm going to do, what I would suggest is I'm going to change this, put new parchment on the bottom, and kind of clean this up just so it's not so liquidy. But that's all the fat that came out of that. So I'm going to clean this up real quick, put a new piece of parchment down, and then I'm going to dress this pizza. All right. So all I did was I lift that off with a spatula, put a new piece on, and that came down quite a bit. But that's pretty much it. It came down real nice. Now, thinking about the sauce that you can do, I mean, there's so much on there already. I mean, I did make a Thousand Island, but I'm thinking that's more for drizzling. I think would probably be good. Would be, I think would probably be good. Would be just a little bit of my mustard, and I think we're going to do that. I'm going to go grab some mustard and just smear a little bit of that on the bottom. All right. So what I'm going to do is just put a little of the brown sugar mustard down on the bottom for the sauce. A little bit of the Sweet Diamond brown sugar mustard. I'm just going to spread that just a little bit. And then what we can do is add this deli corned beef. And then we can hit it with, we'll get some of the sauerkraut. And this is just sauerkraut I made. I've got this recipe on the website. You can use any kraut that you'd like. Basically, we're just putting everything that you'd have on a Reuben, except there's not going to be any rye. And then we're going to finish this with, and I did fresh Swiss cheese that I melted. All right, I'm going to get this in the oven. We'll take a look at this and see how this comes out. Well, I know it's going to be beautiful. All right, here we are. We got this done. We're going to cut into this. Okay, let's take a look at this. We're going to cut into this. Again, this has got everything that you want on a Reuben. You got the Swiss cheese, the kraut, the corned beef, the brat. We got a brat on there. That replaced the crust. Look at that. Doesn't look crazy good. And then I got a little bit of Thousand Island you can drizzle on top. Look at that. God, that came out good. All right. The recipe will be online. Give it a shot. You can get everything at sweetdiamondfoods.com.